All Republican governors should immediately go for paper ballots, one-day voting, and voter ID. Companies. His spending and his borrowing are at record levels. It's causing historic inflation, sir, which is only going to get worse and worse. He just called me before I got. I said, I don't want to say this, Larry. It's only going to get worse and worse. It's driving up interest rates, and new cars and homes are going to be impossible to buy. Amidst this economic disaster, Biden talks about saving you a few dollars on some junk fees. Don't mean anything. By defeating Joe Biden, I will save your economy, I will save your retirement accounts, and I will save your jobs. We had the greatest job history of any president ever. I will create a true national trade policy like the kind that made America the world's economic powerhouse. What we were doing prior to the dust coming in from China was nobody's ever seen that. There's never been anything like it. That period of 2.5 years there's never been anything like it. And I'll tell foreign nations where we spend billions of dollars on military protection that if American products do not receive preferential treatment in their markets,
So he's just on the stump right now. He's giving a live speech as we speak. This is happening right now, right? Is this happening right now? Sheesh. Is this CPAC? No.
Military is packed up and leaving. Which some countries I did that with, and usually it took a phone call and everything was just fine. Because economic security is national security, I will revoke China's most favored nation's trade status immediately on day one. And I will implement a 4-year plan to phase out all Chinese imports of essential goods and gain total independence from China. We have to do it. We have to do it. I will hold China financially accountable for unleashing the China virus upon the world. And I will again withdraw from the WHO, which stands for We Hide Outbreaks. We hide outbreaks.
Okay, WHO, We Hide Outbreaks. I never heard of that before. I never heard of that one before. Can somebody break that one down for me in the comments so I can read it and act as if I knew about it? You know what I mean? Oh, real quick with the information. Oh, that's what that means. That means this.
The United States was paying.
World Health Organization, We Hide Outbreaks. What did he mean by that?
I think this is important because, again, it's so much common sense involved. The United States was paying the World Health Organization $450 million a year. Now, in terms of money and the kind of trillions and trillions we're talking about, it's not that much, but it's still $450 million a year. And I took them out. That's what it was. The price was $450, and that's for 350 million people. China was paying $39 million a year for 1.4 billion people. Doesn't sound too right. And they had total control, by the way. We had no control. They literally own it. When I withdrew from the WHO, they offered me to stay in. Please don't leave. Please, please, please. For what China pays. They said, we'll bring it down to 39 million. I was actually close to doing this deal, if you want to know the truth, but I would have had it. You would have been angry at me. I said, I don't want to have CPAC angry at me. But I might have gone back in. But I could have done it for 39. I could have probably done it for less than that. But now Biden has gone back for the full price of $450 million. Now, all he has to do is read the newspapers. They were begging me to come back in for $39 million. So why would you pay $450 million?
Yeah, I would like to know that too. It sounds like he got stiffed or that's just the price of doing business. Like we're doing other business and you are where I want to funnel this money. So yeah, take the 450. Please take the 450. Trust me, take the 450.
Do you understand that? Gordon, you understand that? How crazy. So China's in for 39. They're saying, you're right, it's unfair. It's unfair. We will do it for 39. We will take you back. The head man, you know who that is? We will take you back. And then I started to say, actually, it should be much less. It should be like 5 or 6 million, right? But I didn't want to go there. We will take you back for 39 million. You're right, President. I said, well, we'll think about it. We'll see what happens, but the offer will remain open, right? Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. They went back in for the original amount. It's so sad. And we have no control, by the way. China controls WHO. So that's what it does. WHO is totally controlled by China. We could have saved $400 million a year. It's a lot of money. And now they're asking for even more dictatorial power and more and more and more of our money, but they're getting nothing more from China. When we're dealing with the Biden administration, it seems that every single day is April Fool's Day. Every day. They want an open border so that anybody can come in, and everybody else wants it to be closed. It's April Fool's. We want an open border. That's April Fool's. We want voter ID. They don't want voter ID. Who wouldn't want voter ID? 88% of the Democrats, except for the leadership, because they can't cheat with voter ID. But 88% of the Democrats want voter ID. But they don't want voter ID.
Why don't they?
It's April Fool's Day.
They just trying to really put everything in their favor.
They want to take the soldiers out of Afghanistan before we take our people and equipment out. But we want the soldiers to come out last. So then they blow it into a catastrophe, the most embarrassing event in the history of our country. It's April Fool's Day. They want all electric cars that don't go very far. I have a friend, he bought a car. He said, the car's wonderful, but you know, I go for an hour and a half and I got to put a charger and I can't find the charger. I'm going crazy. And also all the batteries and everything, the material comes all out of China. We have oil and gas, but we don't want the oil and gas cars. But we want everything, including electric cars, but we also want gasoline because the cars go longer and they're preferred by many people. We don't like quick drives that are stopped for 2.5 hours. It's April Fool's.
He's talking about all this different stuff that's going on with the country right now. That's just complete and utter foolishness. And he's just pointing out the stuff that's going on. He's not making up anything. What is he making up?
They want all electric stoves all over the country. But we don't have the electric power for that. And we want electric stoves, but we also want gas stoves. It's April Fool's. Why do they want that? They want windmills all over the place that ruin our fields, kill our birds, and are very unreliable, and are the most expensive energy ever developed. We want oil, gasoline, natural gas, because it's cheaper, better, and much more powerful. It's April Fool's Day. Under my leadership, we will regain energy independence that we had 3 years ago. We were on our way to massive energy dominance. We would have been paying off our debt because energy is big numbers. It's not like you're selling a little product. You're selling the biggest product of all, is energy.
Now, Stream TV is saying that windmills take a ton of grease and oil to maintain in a year. All right. So can y'all let me know what y'all think about that part right there? Because if that's the case and they're high in maintenance and they're not good for the environment, please tell me why this way is better. What the holy hell? What the seriously? Look at this trash. Somebody always got to do it. Why would somebody put this in the damn chat? Why would somebody put this in the chat? Come on, bruh. What the hell, man? Wow. They see Trump doing a damn, he's giving a speech, and he must have touched some feelings because this guy figured, you know what? I'm going to go inside of this chat and I am going to say the most ridiculous things I possibly can. Just be a troll. That's garbage right there.
We would have been paying off our debt. We
That's
would have been the
garbage.
strongest. You know, we're already bigger under my administration, bigger than Saudi Arabia or Russia.
Wow.
We were going to be much bigger than both of them combined.
What's the point of even doing that? I don't get that. Like, I honestly don't get that. There's people that's walking through this earth that's just naturally sad and angry and pissed off and just hate everyone. Like, you're just a soldier for Satan and you just want to do his bidding. I don't get that, man. Love will get you so much further. I know some people feel like they've tried and they've given up on trying to receive love or give love. But come on, man.
Within about a year, we would have made the kind of money they're making times 5. And we would have been paying off debt and we would have been reducing taxes and it would have been a beautiful thing. But they came in and they said, we don't want that.
We don't want that.
I will fight for a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. And I will move heaven and earth to fully and finally secure our elections. All Republican governors should immediately go for paper ballots, one-day voting, and voter ID.
Paper ballots, one-day voting, and voter ID. Why is that a bad idea? Please let me know that in the comments. Why is that a bad idea? Paper voting, one-day voting, and voter ID. This dude is doing it again. Why don't they block this dude? He's doing it again. In Florida, we have 1 week before the election to do early voting. It works fine. Everything else, I agree with. Term limits, oh man, he's swinging hard. Yeah, he's trying to get them to daggone lock in on something. One-day voting only makes for lines that are hours long. So Chris and Susie are against it. Exception for the military.
And the problem we have is we have governors, and some of them we like and some of them we don't, but they're all talk. Think of it, they control the state. And we have a lot of governors. They should go for that. Paper ballots, same-day voting. You know, France had 37 million people voting. They voted in one day, and at 10:30 in the evening, they called the winner. There were no problems.
Yeah, so speaking of that, if France were able to do it in one day, 36 million people, how come we can't? Like, I really want to know that. Like, if we have a day that's dedicated to voting and only voting, how come we can't?
They have paper ballots, same-day voting, voter ID. And they only had a little mail-in, and we would have this too, for soldiers that are very far away or people that are legitimately sick. Okay, legitimately, as opposed to millions and millions of ballots flooding the offices. They used COVID to cheat. But until that day comes, Republicans must compete using every lawful means to win. That means swamping the left with mail-in votes, early votes. And
I like that, Lisa Marie. Make voting day a federal holiday, problem solved. You have no excuse as a federal holiday to get out there and do your civil duty. That will fix it. Like, if you can be excused from work, be excused from school, all this other stuff, to go vote, to do your thing. Everybody's home. That is good. I like that. Why would that be a bad idea, though? I'm sure some people have a reason why that would be a bad idea. I would like to hear that.
election day votes have to do it. We have to change our thinking because some bad things happened. You know, for some reason, Republicans like to vote on election day, right? The problem is you get there and they have so many already started. But worse, if you take a look at Kari Lake in Arizona, where they waited and waited, don't vote now, wait till Tuesday, wait till Tuesday, wait till Tuesday. And in the Republican areas, a tremendous percentage of the machines were broken and you couldn't vote. And they had lines that were a mile long all over the place, Republican areas, and they couldn't vote. They said, come back in 7 hours. But people can't do that. They have Little League, they have doctors. They might love Kerry, they might love the Republican Party and everything we stand for, but they can't do that. And they were standing in the hot sun for hours and hours. And then they sent in mechanics to fix them. And when the mechanics left, they were far worse. And they lose those cases in courts because our judges have no courage to do what's right. They have no courage to do what's right. I can tell you that was the case in 2022.
Seems like no one has any courage to do what's right. Everybody want to just hop on a bandwagon and just support whatever echo chamber that they're in, and and it doesn't even matter if who they're supporting is wrong, dead wrong. They're just right there with them. Yeah, we agree with you with what you just now said, just to be a part of something. It might be some people in the audience who have an issue with Trump or what he presents. Please let me know in the comments or reach out to me and let me know exactly what your gripe is. Because when I listen to this as a voter, I'm not hearing any wrong. I don't have any issues with what he said. But you feel free to let me know whatever you catch. And feel free also to go over to CNN News. I'm gonna have the original link to this below. All right, so that you can go check it out. But y'all go check it out, man.